Hello everybody, how good of you to join once again to Humankind, playing as the Shu or Su or Shu or something like that. The Chinese, I do like them a lot right now. Now we have a couple of things going on our map as we are in turn 25. One thing is my influence is rather low still, so I would like to push this one further. Influence is the only resource that we need at this point to expand our empire, right? So at the moment, for example, we have 2 outposts here. If I would like to have them become a city, we do need 160 influence on them. The other thing is I could attach them, which in turn costs once again 24 influence. This would then be part of my capital city. Now the question remains, what is more useful at this point? Do we want to go for another sector? Do we want to wait for the influence in order to claim another sector like up here where we could do it? Well, it's quite some time ago, right? Or quite some time away. Because we need 80 influence on that, so we still need 40 influence, which is over 12 turns at this point, before we can claim another territory. Or is the boost coming from the outpost better when we attach it to the city? No idea about this concept at the moment. What I know though is we need to expand, and we can do this in several ways. First of all, my outpost that we have there, the Asa outpost, we can actually build an artisan's quarter here. Nothing else though, right? So we could only relocate the outpost. We could make it a city if we have the influence, but other than that we can have the artisan. Why? Because we have a special resource over here. Let's build this one, and that is salt. This gives me +5 food per salt and +5 stability as well. We could do the same thing in our capital. So we have the lumber yard at the moment, and then we have another district, the artisan's quarter. And we actually have another resource here, sage. So this is +5 stability. Plus on top of that we get +1 coin and +2 food if we build these artisan quarters there. Really powerful as far as I can tell. So once this is finished, we start with the artisan's quarters, and since we have 24 industry at the moment production, we can build these things really quickly. At least I hope it's quick. I have no idea about this. So what I can see is that the other empires, this one here has only 1 pop, for example. We have 2 pops and an archer. So I think we might be a bit, well, ahead of it. Another thing that we have is over here, there is an outpost and it's undefended. So we could go for it and ransack it, right? That's 43 coin that we get out of that. It takes 7 turns though, right? So for now, we can't do anything here, and the Nubians feel different about us because, well, we are ransacking their outposts. It's what I do. It's what I do for expansion. Let's just see what happens after 7 turns. Either we get the money or the Nubians come and defend it, right? So that's that. Let's continue. What else do we need? We have still the scouting up here, and we can see a new empire coming up there where we already destroyed one of them. Right, so nothing else I could do here right now. Plus this party here is maimed, so it has a lower combat strength, right? So I'm really just trusting in my archers at the moment. Let's end the turn. 26. No one is coming so far over here. That's good. So we can continue with the ransacking. We continue with the lumber yard. The archers are fine over here. It's the last sector that we have before we border to that one, so I really would like to get this one. Right, it's a pretty big one, and just look at the graphics. I mean, I just have to say these maps are absolutely stunning when it comes to the look of it, and so diverse. So the last playthrough was so vastly different when it comes to landscape than this one. Alright, we still continue. Unfortunately, nothing that we could discover, right? There is some geysers, but that's it, right? So if I want to continue, I would have to go over the border, which is a war declaration. So that's the end of our expansion to the north. Influence is 80. So we rather just wait there and end the turn. Asa gained a new population. Very good, so that is the outpost. And we can now create our first religion, polytheism or shamanism. This one gives me +5 influence on holy sites. This one gives me +10 influence on holy sites, 10 faith in general, and 5 on holy sites. Let's go with shamanism for now. And we have thus unlocked a new era star. Now what we can see is it's the first one that we have. We do need to collect 7 stars to fulfill this era and advance to the next one. And we got the first one, right? The other ones have 6 districts. Right now we only have 1. Have 20 population, we have 10, so this is still all a bit far away, but it's fine. It's fine. I think we are well on the way here. Now the hunting party, Wait a second, I could use it to clear some forest, right? This is something I would like to try. If I clear forest in the same sector, does it go for the outpost? No idea about that. We'll find out. And Keepers of the Creed. I like how many events we do get, right? An unexpected rivalry has erupted between two temples in Haojing, each representing a different sect of Shu shamanism. One temple argues that religious matters should be left in the hands of dispassionate men, while the other contends that only women with their capacity for nurturing life possess the necessary understanding of these affairs. Now we can say, who wants to have the upper hand for the religion? Men, women, or all? Anyone can lead our religion. We believe men are the only ones. Now, of course, if I would go for history, we would have to go with men, but we might also try an alternative history, in this case here, by going for all. This one is good for our social progress, as we can see, so this is pushing it, I think the research that we have, to higher levels, while this one is a bit lower, and this one is even lower still. So, yeah. This one pushes it all, and it has no real penalty as far as I can see. So let's go for that. Let's just see. Everyone can do something with religion, right? We can have leaders of both of them. There is now a forest there, right? We could clear it. And I would like to know if this one attributes directly to my outpost that we have over there. And it's taking 4 turns. Ooh, that's quite a lot. Artisan quarters only need... Oh, and Haojing has gotten another population. And we have researched domestication. So that's our next tech that we need on our way to the wheel, which will then open up the, well, Sanche for us with the heavy cavalry. Domestication, very good. So we can use the horses now. Let's continue. The other techs, oh, they're really expensive. So let's just finish the city defense, unlocks the warrior for us, and the wall that we might use then for our cities, right? If it comes to that. That means we have 3 pops now working in the city here, and Shu should have, or Su, or Asa, sorry, has 3 out of 4, right? So it can still grow one more time before it reaches the end. Ah, very good. And we have ransacked successfully this outpost here from our enemy. And with that, we have made this sector available to us again. Whoa, that's really cool. So we could definitely weaken that one here by ransacking their outposts. Makes it a bit worrisome for me how I manage my other outposts though. But yep, this is available again. If I build something here, 80 influence. Still totally limited by that. And we could use the money, right, to speed up some buildings. Oh, and we have finished the artisan quarters over there. They are now working for us. And we have thus pushed our industry also to 31 per turn. Our money is though really low already at 5. And we have someone working in the money district. I think research is more important for now, so I'm going to push this one over there to science. Right, so money is going down a bit, it's still positive, and science is now being boosted. This should speed up our science a bit. Food is still positive. As long as it stays positive, it can stay like that. The next one that grows out of this city here is going to be working in food then. Now for our districts, we have a project now, the Faith Stability on District Stone Ring, or we continue Animal Barns, Granary, Food per Farmers, so this is boosting our food. I'd rather go with that. And there we have the Scout Riders, not the food yet, so I would need to have this one there, I think. Ah, Artisan Quarters, the horses. There we have it then. So once this is finished, we have the horses on our control. This is fine still. It's still building the Artisan Quarters. We could boost it by a bit of money, but I'd rather not do it. Fine, fine, fine. Over here, we might continue expansion into this area, because we have no idea what's lurking over there. Unknown strategic resource. Alright, we haven't researched that yet. And this one here has finished the chopping down of the wood. But I don't think it did anything. Oh yeah, +9 industry from exploitation. That's pretty sure. Or I think it's the... It might be the forest that we cut down. Let's go back here. And sleep tonight. We are at 66 influence. Unfortunately, I can still not boost my influence really, even though we should have the districts. You can now vote one additional civic. Oh! Is that retaliation? That is a hunting party. It's exhausted. We could attack them and we would have the upper hand over them. Let's not do this for now. I don't know them yet. Right? Ah, there we have something. It's popping up. So it's not permanent, right? They come back again. This is boosting my research a bit. Animal remains. Very good. I think it might be good to use them to chop down some trees, right? While we not scout anything. There is something else. Ah, now we can find new stuff. That's important. And city defense has been researched. With that, the warrior. There's a bear over there. Alright, look at that. These tags are now more valuable, or they're quicker to reach, right? The irrigation gives me a bit more food bonus. The fishing, the masonry. This gives me +2 influence on main plazas and the pottery workshop. Let's go with the masonry. The wheel would be possible too, but that still takes 22 turns. I'd rather not do this. And let's have a look at my civics. We have the codified law. We cannot advance here yet, so I would have to go with the founding myth. And natural right or divine mandate. What do we have? We claim inherent dominion over the land and beasts, or our supremacy is ordained, for we are the chosen ones. Let's go with the natural right. This gives me the +5 influence that we want, and look at that, we have +8 influence now. Very good. This is what I was hoping for. So we can now, in the next turn, already go for the next outpost. No! They have the outpost there now. Alright, I will need to go there. Scientist has claimed a new star. The second star that we have. Let's have a look up there. There is a party. Alright. We don't have the upper hand here. This is tricky. 4 turns. We might send some of our soldiers over there to claim this one. To ransack it. Or we give it up and instead focus on expansion in this area. Both of it is valid. Since this is really far away, we might... wait a second, there's a wonder on it, right? Do we not have the Bacile here? Yep. We have a natural wonder here, +5 influence, that this district gives me. I need that. Alright, so we might send the archers over there as well. How long does it take? 7 turns, and I hope it's going to be worth it, because I need that. Now let's just see what else we can do. 8 influence, not that much. I will claim something here though, I think. There we have another interesting thing. Oh, and then another force. 5 coin. And I think over there we had something else. They are going away anyway, so there's a good chance that we get this one and ransack it just like that. The flooded lands, an unrelenting deluge of rainfall lashes down upon the great city of Haojing and the surrounding lands. If the rains don't stop soon, the bank of the great river that threads through the city will burst. Gamble, adapt, or protect? Okay, adapt. Limit adaptation should mitigate the biggest risk, and the rains might relent in any case, or we build a dike for 120 coin and ensure that cities protect. Let's go with the middle one there. I don't have that much money. Adapt. We don't gamble, but we adapt to it. And we have found some animal remains over there. That gives me another 3 science points. Very good. Let's get up there. I think those guys are gone, right? Yep. So we have a chance at this one. It's a mistake on their part. They're not protecting their outpost while they're being established. So I'm going in there and we can ransack it for 200 coin. This would though cause a grievance. It's a trading post. Let's wait. Let's wait until my other army arrives, because I feel a bit too weak there right now. But we definitely can do this. Now over here the Nubians have established a new outpost once again. And just like before, I'm going to ransack this one. We are a bit hostile here right now, but it's the only option we have to expand. And the Hittites, we have found a new empire. And they think they are the chosen ones. Plus we have got another population boost. I think it was in Sudo. Yep, there is now 5 people living in here, so this is taking a toll. We should attach this one, and I'm doing this now. There we have it. So Asa is now detached to Haojing. And what happens now is that Asa basically is, well, functioning like it belongs to Haojing, right? The whole territory gets merged. This outpost now is no longer an outpost, but kind of like a district for the city. And what we can see is we have now way more people here under our control that we can work with. And what I can see is we have a negative food balance. So money we have too much anyway. Let's get one of them over to food. So this is now producing 5 again for us. That means we have a certain growth in it. We could also just choose a diploma or a policy here, how we want to go with this, where we want to focus in, or I go for it manually. I'd rather go for it manually and do it myself. Attaching the next one would cost 100 influence. We might make just a city out of it, no idea. They're still on the way. We can still ransack, right? Yes, we could still ransack this one. And who cares about the grievance? Down here we have the same thing. We are now going then into this one. And we would have the upper hand there, so... Oh. I didn't want to attack now, but we did. Oh, and there's something else. A new camp coming up. Might be a barbarian. A violent tribe. Yep, this is a violent tribe. So these are the barbarians that pop up now on the map. Yes, we have a few problems. So after the artisan quarters, I would like to get my first... units in here, and what I can see is scout riders. Do we have the horses? Not yet. We should have the horses. We have them, but what I would like to go for is a warrior. This has 17 strength, costs me a pop though, but we have 8 pop, so a warrior and an archer. 2 of them are coming up then, because I need another unit to focus on. And after that we might go for a wall. The palisades gives me some fortification in our capital. Very important that we do this. I don't care about faith at all, so I'm not doing that. They are still waiting for my archers to arrive. And over here we have our camp, or my units that I really would like to ransack this one down there from the Nubians. And the Nubians changed once again towards us.
My empire grows strong.
So they're hesitant towards us now. Right, attitude change. This empire now feels different, and they're hesitant because, of course, we did quite a lot of damage to them already, ransacking and having still armies in their terrain. The Hittites, of course, also the only trade luxuries. We can do this. Over here, you can wait. And the flooded lands. Oh, fortune favors you. The skies above Haojing grew darker and darker, the deluge like a sea being tipped upon a city. But then suddenly the clouds parted and the rains relented. Days of sunshine followed and the threat of floods are no more. So if we were lucky in this case, 60 coin was enough that we invested into this event. Alright, my archers continue up to the north. Access to your salt was purchased by the Olmecs. What? Oh, they purchased some salt from us, I guess. The Olmecs, there they are.
You have my ear.
And we could get something from them, but not at this point, I think. And we have 10 influence per round right now, 100 influence, that's pretty good. The warrior is coming up, can wait, and then I'm going to merge it with the archer. And another event happening in Haojing. Wild animals in the forest have always been hunted for their meat, but now an inventor in the city believes the carcasses can be put to other uses too. They believe the carcasses can be harvested for their military, decorative or subsistence application. Military. Everything from horn to hoof will be used to better equip our soldiers. To harvest them, bountiful. So we get the bountiful event. This gives me +5 food. This gives me +5 money. And this gives me, oh, more industry or reduced industry cost for my units. This is good. Let's go militarized. Right, so units are cheaper now if I build them. Or faster. So this one is done in 2 turns now. I'm all in for that. We have the upper hand. That's a tricky one. Let's wait. I hope they go away. Masonry is ours now. The pottery workshop has been researched. And there would be bronze. This would open up the copper for us. I think this is pretty good as we are focusing a bit on, yeah, I have to say it, military power. So we are industrious and military people. Warrior can wait. They can now advance towards the camp. They can still wait. And that's it. Very good. We have our regiment, as it's called now, with the warrior and the archer. And with that, we could go towards, yeah, surrounding territory. We could also claim new territory. And I think since we have the influence, I would like to go up here to claim a new city. You can still wait, though the archers are now really close. Oh, we can actually do it this turn, right? Yep. There we have it. And we can now ransack this outpost. They will have a grievance, but that's fine. 360 coin would be waiting here for us. And since we have some archers there, I don't think they can do it or, well, fight against that. The darkest depths miners and prospective miners and their kin from Haojing are afraid. Ancient traditions are strong and many believe the mythical beasts of the old legends are very real and hunt or, well, are rumoring around or, well, you know, are in these mines. Dismiss it, investigate it, or embrace it. With this one, dismissing it, we would get plus 14 industry and minus 10 stability. Investigating, we do get 10 stability, and I think it's the safest one. And embrace it, we do get another industry bonus for our units. Let's dismiss it and get the plus 14 industry. We do have enough stability. Actually, we don't have that much anymore after this one. We should be careful. Here we are now too. Let's ransack the next outpost. I like ransacking. I'm also putting another one into industry. I don't care about that much about money right now. So putting another one into industry speeds up the palisades even more. And since we have 7 people here working, I could first oh yeah, have another artisan quarters over there. And we do that. So this is what do I have? The ebony then. This gives me another stability bonus for the artisan quarters. And pottery workshop. Influence on the main plaza plus 2. Another one coming up, and then probably for another, let's make archer out of that, right? So we still should never forget about the army. Blades of the Empire. As your horizons widen, your armies grow in lockstep with your ambitions. Now with military power spread over several regiments, it is time to decide the nature of the soldiers who compose your armies. Really cool. Because we have a certain amount of soldiers now, we have unlocked a new civic. We don't have a point for that yet. In 2 turns we have, but then we can decide what we want to focus our armies in. Faster, faster production or more strength for each one of them. For example, another specialization into our empire. And this is where the game is also pretty different from Civilization, for example, that we really, really individualize and specialize our empire. And that we can do every time we play this game. Really, really cool. I mean, you can do this in Civilization too to some degree, but I think here it goes even one step further with all the stories behind it and stuff like that. Now, good so far. We're still expanding, and of course, we're still ransacking. Stay tuned.